Welcome everyone, my name is Mustafa, otherwise known as Chris, and welcome to some more Thunder. Now a little while ago, and by a little while ago, I mean like a month ago, and I'm really sorry for the long wait, someone asked me, or a subscriber asked me even, if I could show him some quick turning aircraft, or give him some tips on how to use the Japanese aircraft without getting shot down so easily. So I'm sorry about the long wait, but I've been quite busy, but here's a quick video and on how to turn quickly, or some quick turning aircraft. And later on today there will be another video, hopefully, if I can get it out today. I really hope I can. So yeah, Japanese aircraft. If you're going to be using these things, you're not really going to survive for very long. You just need to make sure that you're taking out targets that you know you can take out. So basically, as you're flying into battle, make sure you're looking at the different aircraft that are coming near you, and just pick the ones that you know your weapons can deal with and that you have advantages over, like your turning ability, for example. But other than that, it's kind of luck of the draw. If you end up with someone on your tail, you're probably going to go down, and you just need to avoid that. Having a squad mate definitely helps. Someone you can, you can stick close to, and they can help you out. But for the most part, these things are pretty weak in terms of their armor, so they don't last for very long. And I'm sorry, I know it's quite weak advice, but that's pretty much all I can really say. There's no way to make these things survive for longer, except for just to play carefully and target people carefully. Now you can always sacrifice a little bit of turn time for a bit more versatility. The Spitfires are very good at that. They have cannons, they have machine guns, lots of machine guns, and they turn 2 seconds slower than the A6M3, which is the Zero. These things can still get shot down pretty easily, but not as easily. But if for the 2 seconds you're sacrificing, I'm not really sure it's worth it. But you can try these out if you'd like, because I've heard that once you really get used to using the Spitfires, you can last for a long time. Now, another aircraft you can use, or at least should I say, excuse me again, I always do that, or at least should I say, a series of aircraft you could use, which are quite good, is the Yak series of aircraft. Now, the cool thing about the Yaks is that although they're 3 seconds slower than the Japanese aircraft and 1 second slower than the Spitfires, these things have got armor and they got weapons. They got about an 11-second turn time. Now, due to that, obviously the Japanese and the British can outturn them, or at least the Spitfires can outturn them. But the cool thing about it is these aircraft, they got good weapons. They turn fairly well. They turn a lot better, by the way, if you put combat flaps on and slow the plane down, but make sure you keep the plane above 250 kilometers an hour and below 380 kilometers an hour. You'll get the best maneuverability out of these aircraft at those speeds. Now, they can their armor itself, sorry, I should say, their armor is pretty good. If you're getting shot at, you can take quite a lot of damage before going down. I've in the past been shot and had holes in this wing, holes in that wing, in my elevator, my rudder, my tail, the body of the aircraft, and I've still landed and repaired. You've got pretty much no chance of that happening when flying a Japanese or a Japanese aircraft or a Spitfire, simply because they just don't last for very long because of their armor. Whereas these things, although they don't turn quite as quick, they do take a bigger punch before they go down. Now, obviously, there are 4 Yak aircraft, that's soon to be 5 as well, but I'm going to talk about that in a different video. There is an aircraft called the Yak 9T. You've probably heard of it. If you haven't, I'm just going to quickly do an overview of this aircraft. Now, this aircraft, by all accounts, in a lot of people's eyes, is overpowered. Now, Gaijin, who make War Thunder, they're not looking to make the game balanced. They're looking to make it historically accurate, which means that certain aircraft will probably stand out compared to other aircraft. Now, a lot of people complain about the Airacobra. Now, this is the Airacobra here. Now, the thing about the Airacobra is, besides if it didn't have that 37mm cannon, it would be a pretty crap aircraft. Now, let me explain why. It's slow. It can't turn, and when it does turn, it loses a ton of speed. You go from like 400 kilometers an hour to 250 kilometers an hour in a turn, and that's only half a turn as well. So if you've got someone in your ass constantly turning after you, you're probably going to hit critical speeds and crash. It's very weak. It can get shot down very, very easily. It doesn't take much to shoot this thing down. And it's slow. It's very, very slow. It can travel at about 400. Well, it says here you can travel at 520 kilometers an hour, but that's not even that quick. And it never travels that quick, or at least I've never experienced it traveling that quick. So, other than that, it's 37mm cannon. It's pretty bad. The Yak 9T, on the other hand, which I'm just going to put out here, that's the same aircraft. Oh my god. Please let me select it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, the Yak 9T. The reason people will consider this to be overpowered is because it's got a 37mm cannon. That sounded really weird. It's got a 37mm cannon, but it can turn really quickly, or at least not really quickly, but it can turn quick enough that it can dogfight. It takes quite a punch when it's getting shot at. It can take quite a few holes and stuff all over the aircraft without getting shot down. Again, I've had lots of holes in this aircraft, a lot of damage, and still landed and repaired. And it can travel really, really fast. So this thing is a very big threat if you're coming up against it. So if you want to use the Yaks, please don't use the Yak 9T, because this thing is just so powerful compared to a lot of the other aircraft that people just don't like people using them. I'm one of those people. I don't mind the people using them, but it's just like sometimes you just go up against it, it gets in your tail, and you know you're gone. And like one, maybe two hits later, you're dead, and it's very annoying. So yeah, use the Yaks, in my opinion. If you're going to use any aircraft in the game, the Yak's a very good aircraft. Please don't use the Yak 9T. Just level up a little bit and unlock the LA5FN or something, because that's still a pretty good aircraft. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about that. I'm sorry if it wasn't all that helpful. If you have any more questions, again, just ask me in the comments and I'll respond to those. But other than that, I just don't really have that much advice to use quick turning, like to use the Japanese aircraft. I think it's just the fact that I used them for so long that when I do use them, I just know what they're capable of, and that's how I can use them so well. But just do the same, and I'm sure you'll come out good on the other side. So again, comment in the comment if you got any questions and stuff like that. And other than that, like, subscribe. I've been Mustafa. Over and out.